morning, everybody. I'm Colette the Highway Stitcher, here to give you my stitching from the highway and at home. It's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 degrees Celsius here in Utah, USA. Uh, Kind of a nice day, actually. Sunshiny, bright, um, grateful for a pretty sunny day, and that's not too hot and not too cold. So I'll take it for however long it lasts, which may not be for very long. Today is October 31st, and for those ghosts and goblins, both the little and the big, who celebrate Halloween, happy Halloween to you. And I am back, and but I'm grateful to be back. Um, just a couple little housekeeping items, and then I want to move into my thing of what I'm going to do here. I'm going to show my a finished object, yay, a slew of whips, what my plans will be for the next month, actually the next couple months. Um, at the end, I'll show some pictures from the last retreat I went to in North Carolina, the Queen City Stitch Retreat. And I will finish up with the gratitude journal. Uh, First of all, I want to thank everyone for their kindness last month. Yes, I was not having a good month last month due to several different factors, which I don't prefer to go into at this time, but it was not a good month for me. So I want to thank all of you so much for your kindness, for your kind comments. I will just make one comment about how I was feeling. It had nothing to do with anybody making any comments on my videos that were, not nice or whatever. It had nothing to do with that. So I want to make sure that those of you know that I've only been shown kindness and love from all of you. So thank you so, so very much. Um, it was just amazing. um, it's like I've got all these friends all over the world, and I love you guys all, and it's so great. It's just so wonderful. And I'm thankful for you. Thanks so much for all your love, concern, support, everything you gave me in the last month. I I'm excited to get back into showing you what I've been doing, and I'm glad that you want to join me and see what I have been up to. So anyway, oh, and I forgot to add at the last with what I'm going to show. I'm also going to show some lace and what I've been up to with my bobbin lace and what I will be up to in a little while with it too. So on to um, let's see. Oh yes, um, part of the reason why I haven't been back also has been some other issues that have nothing to do with emotional issues. I went to the retreat. Before the retreat, I had three birthdays, two grandkids' birthdays and my son's, and also a lot of other grandkid functions and things like that they do at school. So that kind of kept me busy, and I thought about doing another video then, but then Queen City Retreat in Charlotte, North Carolina came, and I thought, okay, well, that's fine. When I get done from that, I can show pictures from that and everything. And then when I got back, the day after I got back, I got sick. Just a bad cold that went into my sinuses, which may still sound like that a little bit because I got a sinus infection after that. It moved into a sinus infection. So I am just about totally well now, but it threw me. It just kicked my behind. I was really sick for over a week. So that just kind of messed things up too to get any video made. So anyway, it isn't until now on the 31st of October, and my last video was October 1st, so at least I made it within the month, that I am giving you a video to show you what I worked on this month, what I got accomplished, what my plans are for next month, pictures of the retreat, and pictures of lace. So anyway, we're going to move on after that little bit of talking at the beginning, because I like to get on to what I'm working on, and I'm sure you guys are more happier to see that too. So if I forget any of the things that I'm showing, like where they're from or what the fabric is or anything else, I'll try to put that on the screen. But I think I'll remember most everything with this, unless my sinus infection affects my mind too. We'll see. Anyway, this is my FO for the month. That this makes 2 more FOs before 20. I'm shooting for 20 finished objects for my stitching. And I had told a few friends when I was at Queen City, I thought it was 18 and I only had 2 left. But actually I have 3 left. So, but I did get this one done, so I have 2 more after this. So I'm still going to push for 20 finishes total. For those who know what I'm trying to do. Anyway, this finished object is Chicken Logic. This is Leanne Ross's Forbidden Fiber Co. And I used both her fabric and her floss for this. So Leanne, if you're watching, it has turned out beautiful. It was so much fun to stitch. Thank you. So here we are. Stitch this on 32 count glass elevator, Forbidden Fiber fabric, and with all of her colors, her colorway. And it's just so hilarious. I did this for my husband. I'm going to get it framed to give it to him for Christmas. And it says, Chicken Logic, I only wanted 10 chickens, but if God wants me to have 20, then 40 it is. So he used to raise show chickens, and so anyway, and just this is just so him. So anyway, that's what I got finished. So it will soon go off and I'll get it FFO'd and get it framed and give it to him for Christmas. So okay, now on to my whips, and they're in no particular order. So this one I worked on at the Queen City Stitch Retreat a couple weeks ago. This was the one with Nora Corbett, Mirabilia, and so much fun. Anyway, Nora signed my pattern here. I am still working on Garden Prelude, working slowly away at it. I did do quite a bit when I was there. Let me see if I've got the stats on it. I know I did quite a bit. Yeah, I got like over 1,000 stitches. So here it is. I just still have it in the Q snaps. This was outlined all around the edge of her dress, so I could just start filling in with the colors, the mix of colors. So all of this inside here was done during the retreat, as well as this part here and a little bit over here. So I'm pretty happy with that. I love the dimensions that come up when you start filling in different colors with the mirror dresses. You know, they look kind of like 3D, three-dimensional. So, and this is stitched on a 32 count Picture This Plus Demosel, and I'm using the called for DMC. Not any beads or metallics on this one, because I opted to only do the violinist, and the beads and all the others, other stuff is in the background on the flowers and that. So anyway, but I'm working away at it. It's done all the way down to here, and I filled, like I said, I filled in quite a bit of that, and also a lot of this actually on this end is filled in too. So really it's just this middle bottom part that has to be finished off, and then it will be done. I'll show pictures at the end of the retreat. It was just absolutely fabulous. Nora Corbett is a very sweet lady. It was fun to listen to her and all her stories. And Maggie Kitschy Whips and Amy Fibart's Amy put on a wonderful retreat. Okay, this next one I picked up is I've been trying to finish up every single one of my whips. I have around 100 whips, but I need to recount them to make sure what I do have. But lately, I almost have not even been. I did the ones I pulled out of my little jar to do 4 whips for the month, but now I'm getting down to the nitty gritty, and I have still a lot of whips to do. So I just got all of the whips that I have not worked on this year sitting in an IKEA bin, and I just pull them out and work on them for a day or two just to say that I got some accomplished on it. And depending on if I fall in love with them a little more, then I do a little more on them, which has happened. So one of the ones I pulled out this last month to work on was one of my samplers. It's Elizabeth Isles, 1799. It's that fun with all those like little cherub angels around it and the bird. This one I'm stitching on a 40 count, 1/2, 1 thread over 2. In the colorway, it's a R&R. Oh golly, I know it's here. It's R&R linen, and it's Lucky Penny. And I think I'll fold this. Show you what I did there. Some of the cherubs. And I did quite a bit on this because I started having fun with those little angels. And so I kept working. And the only thing that I'd had done before this previously was just only one stitched outline on this part of this border here. Just one of them, not even all three of them. So I actually filled that all the rest in. So there's the border, the dark, light, and dark again. And then I did one angel, and I thought, well, I'll just stop at one angel. But then they were so cute and fun that I went over and did this angel too. So this one was really fun to work on. It was just a really fun one. And I think, let me see here, what I ended up getting about. Okay, I know you're down here, but I'm trying to find you, and I can't find you. Oh, way down at the bottom. I worked on it just a few days ago, and I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Guy, I got 1,000 stitches on it. So I mean, around 1,000. So I'm pretty happy with that. I just got going on this one, and just those angels just drew me. So that one was a sampler that I got more work done on. Another sampler that actually got pulled out of the mix to work on for sure was Winter Rose Manor. I'll show it that way. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. This one, I got about 600 stitches into it. And the main thing I worked on were those little diamonds there. I filled in all those diamonds all the way across. I was trying to get them all the way done to the other side of the border, but I didn't reach that. This one didn't hold my it didn't hold my interest as much, but I decided I had to do at least 500 to 600 stitches in it. This doesn't show the true color on this either, and I can't find a real good place to put it. It's actually kind of a greenish gray color. It's not just all gray like what it's showing. And it's 40 count Lakeside Linen Tundra. So this is also 40 count 1/2 floss threads. I mean 1/2 linen threads. So that's Winter Rose Manor. Another sampler that I chipped away at of my whips, 100 whips. Okay, another one I worked on, I didn't get too much done on this, but a little bit, so I could say I did it, was Bellatrix by Bella Filipina. I like her. She's one of my ladies. So I'm stitching her on Picture This Plus 32 count Murky. And any of you who have Murky, you can tell this is Murky. And the little bit I had done, I had very little done on this. So actually I did pretty well. I think I got about 250 stitches. I had just a little block of this done right here. So I finished the bottom there, and I was trying to figure out which way I wanted to go, and I thought, no, I'm going to move up towards her face and hair and stuff. So I worked my way up counting, did this part and that part. So if you can see, the colors are beautiful. I love the colors on this piece. They're so pretty. The different purples and magentas and everything. So if you see here, you can see that it was up here on her dress, that part and that part. This is 2/2, two threads, two floss threads over two linen threads. I'm using DMC. So another lady bit the dust. I still have, well, I'll show you my plan book when I pull it out. I know I have at least one lady left. So, okay, the next one, I'll show you from a notebook, the next two. I worked on two full coverages this last month. First one I worked on was this Pain-Free Crafts Country Music Dragon. I started this with Dizzy Stitcher when he started working on his raspberry, I think it was the Raspberry Dragon. It's been a couple years now. Haven't put a whole lot of stitches into it, but my goal, like I said, was to get some stitches in every piece this year. And I did do that with Country Music Dragon. I'm going to find it here. I got 600 stitches into it when I worked on it. It is at 3.84%, and 3,670 stitches are done out of 95,550, and I just dropped to the other full coverage on the ground. There we go. This is on kind of a Wedgwood blue 25 count Lugana that I'm just gridding myself. So, to show you what I did for the 600 was pretty much on the other side of that part of the guitar. I mean, there was a little bit of this done, but not a whole lot. So I started filling in the curtain. And as you can tell, this is like a lot of block stitching where you're carrying it down to make that, make those curtains look dimensional. You know, the dark blues, medium blues, lighter blues. So I don't think I have quite reached the other side yet. So I believe I still have a little bit left to go. So anyway, that's upside down. With my full coverages, I'm just boring. I'm usually always 25 count. Sometimes I'll do 28 count. 1/1 full cross. I even go back to, I have some Ada too that I use that I actually do some full coverage on still too. So that's Country Music Dragon. And then the other one I pulled out and actually did, let's see, I did 720 stitches on that, so a little more. Didn't quite make 1,000 on them, but I'm kind of pressured now. I've got 2 months left, and again, my goal is to touch every one of these whips. So I stopped at about, I've got 720 here. I now have 5.57% on Singing in the Rain, and 3,972 stitches are done out of 71,325. Singing in the Rain is a mini by Heaven and Earth with the cute little frogs there singing as it is raining. I'm stitching this one with Amy of Amy Loves Toads. We both started this a couple years ago at StitchCon together. The artwork's by Jody Bergsma on this one. Sorry, on the other one I did not mention. The Pain-Free Crafts one, the artwork is by Stanley Morrison. Singing in the Rain is, I'm stitching it on a gridded, already gridded, pre-gridded, 25 count, 1/1 full cross. And most of the work done on it, there's a lot of confetti in this. Most of it was, I filled in the whole top row pretty much, except over here on the right. You can see there's still some that isn't filled in. But over here on this side, the whole top, all the way over to a little past that red flower, is pretty much all the 100 stitches are done. I went below, started doing some of that, and filling that in also. So that was a 720 stitches on this piece. This is the edge. Excuse me if my voice is going out. I still have a little bit of the sinus infection and it's stuck down in my throat. So, and my voice catches sometimes. So anyway, I am at the edge on here. So there's Singing in the Rain, the mini 1/1 full cross. So those are the two full coverages that I worked on this last month. I pulled out a kit also to get some stitches in it. This is Hedgehogs, a cutie. This one I started a long time ago. Oh my goodness. And I can't even remember. I'd have to go back. I was doing it with two other people, and I think they both have finished. But be that as it may, that is perfectly fine. So I'm using the Riolis threads on this one as well as the Ada. So I'm using the kit floss and fabric. You can see the mushrooms starting to take shape here. I had very little done on this, so probably just the dark outline there of the bottom part of the mushroom down here a little bit. So I filled in quite a bit of this top part of the mushroom and a little bit over here. And to look at it, let me see. Yeah, I did pretty well. I got, let's see, 7, 8. I got about 827 stitches into this. So not quite 1,000, which is what I would prefer, but enough to make it look like some work has been done on it, definitely, because it had very little before. And one thing I haven't kept up on, which I should have, but oh well, I'm just grateful that I've worked on every piece, is I have not done before pictures. So when I show these to you on my whip parade, when I do it, I'm pretty much just going to have to show you the area that I did stitch and have you believe that I actually did it, because I did. Anyway, I also picked up, back to my whips, I picked up another sampler to work on this month. This is not the Long Dog Pandemic Sampler. This is Sarcy Girl's 2020 Pandemic Sampler. And I was watching a few floss tubes when I was not in such a funky mood. And 2 floss tubes I was watching out of the many I was watching, the people were working on this. Did I write down who they were so I could say, hi, I'm working on it with you? No. But I noticed that they were. So this one I only got about 600, but 600 is still 600. I'm stitching this on a 40 count linen R&R 18th century Blackbird. 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. So you can see it's like a darker color like the fabric that they show on the picture here. And what I did for those 600 was basically just these couple of these flowers. So shows you how much stitching they have in them, which they do. I did this dark one here and then this orange one there to make the 600. Boy, some of these samplers, all you do is one little motif and there you've got 300, 400, 500 stitches. Well, this was a fun one to work on. I love the color on this fabric. Just love the whole aura of this sampler. So, okay, another piece I picked up. I think it's down here. I don't think and yet I don't see it down here, and yet I know I was working on it because I was stitching it with Sarah as we were talking, stitching mommy. So, oh well. Still plodding away on Castle Homecoming. This is a cute piece. It's fun, but I just haven't been picking it up. And again, part of that is because I do want to get through all my other whips. But I did pick it up while I was doing a Zoom call. So when I get this pin in here, so it doesn't fall out all over the place, because I guess I didn't finish up my thread. Here she's looking. Such a cutie. This is 32 count Be Stitched Me Frost. I'm doing 2/2 and I'm using all the DMC. And what I did for the time I was talking, was starting here with this more pastel color, moving it up and going around the corner. So, and my plan on this when I get back to it is, of course, filling in the rest of that top there. So all the way across and down, so I can start picking up the smaller tassel and all that stuff that's in the top part of the pattern. So it will get done. It will get done. I mean, I'm more than halfway done with it now, and I'm not going to leave it. So, and it's a cutie, so it will get worked on. I only spent. I wanted to do more, but with my other goals, I didn't. I really only spent time on one. What do you call it? Seasonal type of a piece. I had plans on doing more, but this was the only one that I worked on. And it's just because I love it. Every time I pick it up, I just laugh. It's fun to stitch. It's hilarious to look at as I stitch. I love it. And that's Fat Cat by Birds of a Feather. This cat is so funny. Just cracks me up. It is just the funniest looking cat. And Sarah can attest that if I can't, because she knows I kept walking back and forth looking at this picture, of the stitch piece on the wall at Stitcher's Paradise in Las Vegas, and I just kept chuckling. So I went up to the front and I said, hey, do you have that pattern, Fat Cat? And so they go, oh, Birds of a Feather. They're not designing anymore. And at that time, I don't know if I know that people can pick up a lot of their patterns now again, but at that time, I don't think it was quite as easy. She went in the back, she had one left, and I go, okay, that's just because it's supposed to be for me. So anyway, I am working not on a chocolate fabric. I opted to do this really bright purple fabric, which I love. This is Live and Dye LA's fabric. It's 18 count Ada in the colorway Wakanda Forever. And before, all I had done on this one from last year was the broom, a lot of the broom, and the hat down to about the very top part of the eyes. So I've worked on the other half of the eyes, the whiskers, and part of the mouth. So it's just, this guy, I'm going to have to name him or something. He's just so hilarious. I just love him. He's just so much fun. So much fun to stitch. So that is Fat Cat. And my last two whips are new starts. I had 2 new starts this month. And amazingly, when I looked at my starts and finishes, I actually have, I can look it up and see, but I actually have still less starts than finishes. I think that's because with some of the starts I did, they were SAFs, they were starts and finishes. I was doing them for gifts, things like that, and they weren't huge. So it didn't make my start stitches overwhelming my finished pieces. So that was good. One of them is my annual stitch with my birthday twinner, Krista. We are doing together this year Flag Flock by Plum Street. Here's the piece. We felt it was kind of appropriate for this year in the celebration of America's 250th birthday. We will be doing a little adjusting, and Krista's always good at that. So it will be a little different looking than this. So, but it'll still have the basic look. So I started this on my birthday, and got about 300 stitches. Believe it or not, this is 300 stitches, even though it doesn't look like it. I'm doing this on Dixie Sampler hand-dyed fabrics in the colorway of Wagon Wheel. 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. I want a little cutesy one. And here, I'll show you the pattern again, but here's the little eagle in the middle with the little olive branch. So I started in the middle to make sure that I had enough fabric, because this was a little piece that I had gotten that was just, that was what the size was. It was 13 by 18. So, you know, I wanted to make sure that I had enough margins. So I thought this was cute. I'm using the called for floss, not the yes, the called for floss, which is a combination of overdyes and DMC, but I'm not using the called for fabric. I think it was vintage country mocha, or just maybe country mocha. So I'm using this grayer fabric. So anyway, there's that cute little eagle. About 250 stitches on my birthday start for our birthday twin cell. Now the other piece I'm going to show you has hardly anything on it, and it was the one I was actually really enjoying tons, but I had it on the wrong orientation of the fabric, and probably from being sick. Oh, excuse me, I'm getting a bunch of bings, and so I'm going to put this on mute, the phone. So you weren't going to be seeing a whole lot, which I'm bummed about, but anyway, that's the first time I've done the wrong orientation on a fabric, for years. So I guess being sick still affected me. Anyway, I got this, and you know something, I'm not sure if this is still on Etsy, this pattern. I did not check ahead of time. I apologize. I will show it on the screen for a minute or so you can see it. If you're interested in trying to look it up. It doesn't even have the pattern. I checked to see if it had the name of the designer anywhere on the pattern, but I only made one copy of it. I have to be really careful and make extra copies off of it, which I have done, but it didn't show a name on any page of the darn pattern. So maybe if you're really interested, try to look that up and see if this person is still designing and if the pattern is still up there. But the second I saw this, I just said, I have to have this. This is the old Disneyland sign before they put in their, like, you know, computerized sign. I'm not sure when they took down this old sign, to tell you the truth, but it's what I remember as a child, living 20 miles from Disneyland and raising my kids, taking them to Disneyland. This was the sign. It's probably sometime in the 90s that they took it down, put up the other one. So, I mean, I may have done a lot of stuff at Disneyland, spent a lot of time there, but I'm not one of these really crazy people who can tell you what day they did this and what hour this happened. So I'm not quite that good. Anyway, I'm stitching this one on Gothic. It's a Picture This Plus Gothic 18 count fabric. So it's 2/2 since it's an Aida, and I am using the called for colors. I kind of wanted it to have a dark look, you know, so like you were entering Disneyland at night. Here's one of my Disneyland needle minders, the old e-ticket rides. So anyway, that was my new start, but I actually had, so I'm bummed. This was a big piece of fabric, so thank goodness I just switched it around and changed the orientation and was able to continue. I didn't have to rip out the stitches. But I'm bummed because I had literally all that pink stitched. All of it. From my birthday. But I thought, well, that's life. So I just put a few stitches into it to show you I did start it on my birthday, but I had to restart it yesterday, not on my birthday. But I'm going to enjoy this one. I really am. When I was little, I was at Disneyland all the time. When they first started the passes sometime in the mid-'80s, like I said, I'm not like a critiquer where I know everything, but when they started the annual passes, I remember my youngest was, I think, 2, because she didn't have to get it. We didn't have to pay for her. My parents would buy us annual passes every year for Christmas presents for us until they got crazy nutty high. And by the time they did, my older kids were in high school, and they were invited to participate either in show choir or in marching down the street with their band. So I just became a booster club parent, and then I would go through the back entrance of Disneyland with them and go down. So that way I didn't really have to. We kind of quit the passes after that because I was going there all the time with the kids through high school. In fact, to the point for a while after that, I was a little burned out. And I had two of my three kids worked at Disneyland. So then again, I would go in because they get me in. So, it was a little bit of a burnout until the grandkids got older. And then we went and took some trips with them. And that was fun because you see it through their eyes when they're little, which is very, really, really lots of fun. Okay, so those are my whips. So now I'm going to show you I've changed my plans up a little because I'm getting in the home stretch here, and all I'm thinking of, it's fun to watch everybody's floss tubes with Floss Tube Frenzy, with, their temperature stitching, with all the other stuff they're doing. But I've got blinders on. I mean, literally blinders on, and I'm determined. I'm not doing any kind of like extra games, extra this, extra that. I am just focused on stitching at least 200 stitches now because I'm hard pressed, but at least 200 to 300 on every single piece through the end of the year where I have touched every single one of my whips. So yesterday, before I knew I was going to do this video, so yesterday I went through all my pieces that are left and wrote them all down here for November 1st, 2025 to show what I've actually got left. Because I kept thinking I was whittling down to way lower than 20, but I'm not way lower than 20, unfortunately. I am 19 pieces left here for the next 2 months. So that means almost 10 a month. And that's not only that, but I am shooting to get 20 finishes done if I can for the year. So those are my two goals. This is kind of a combination of a lot of different pieces. At the top here, I have 4 Seasons. That's not an easy piece. It's a Erica Michaels where I'm doing 40 count over 1, a half cross. I'm making little tiny miniature little seasons. So why I decided to do that is all Brenda's fault. Handwork Maniac, thank you very much, girl. It looks beautiful and petite and tiny, but it has been a slog in a way because of the teeniness of it. So anyway, I'll be working on that one. Next one is Frog Welcome. That's a fun one. I can't wait to pick that up. That just didn't get called. I just didn't pull it out of my whips yet to do. And that's a really cute one. And so I'm looking forward to that. Irish Blessing is an actual piece that I did with our Sampler Guild. And so it has some specialty stitches, other things, and that's a sampler that I need to do. The Embroideress is also a sampler. That I believe is Needlework Press. Another sampler I've got to pull out. Holland Mandala is, of course, a chatelaine. And so there's another one. Words to Live By. That's one of those Emma Congdon ones that was started as a cell. And I never worked on it. And so that's... we'll see when I pick that one up whether I'll want to continue on it. Because a lot of the other cells, I either was able to finish them up or I kind of cut them off and made them smaller. So we'll see on that one. But it was fun to work on when I did it, so I may still be able to continue on that. Northern Lights, that's one of Carolyn Manning's. I love that one, so that'll be an easy one to pick up and work on. African Woman with Peonies. Okay, I'm moving into full coverages. Boy, I would love to get a lot of work done on the full coverages. But then again, I still have several left to do, and so probably won't be an amount that you'll be able to see. The next few are all full coverages. I still have, like I said, African Woman with Peonies to work on, Quilts at Cape Cod, Hibiscus Fairy, Winter Montage, Spring Montage, and Fall Montage, because I was not working on them during their seasons because I was just trying to keep up on my getting 100 whips worked on. Also, here's another kit, Lost No More. That is the kit with Jesus and the sheep. So want to get some stitches into that. The Storyteller, that's my Teresa Wentzler Dragon one. So I need to get several hundred stitches on that one if I can. Down near the bottom is a few more samplers. Mary T. Broom, Bless This House, and Welsh Sampler. So those are what I've got left. Some full coverage, some samplers, some odds and ends. And so I'm gonna do it. I'm committed to it. I said that was my goal for this year. Even if it's 100 stitches left, even if I only get 100 stitches in it, that means I touched it. So we'll see how I do. I know how my brain's going to work because when I start working on full coverage, I love it and I just want to keep doing it so I get 1,000 stitches, and I'll have to put my brakes on and just say no. I can only just do a little bit on these so I can move on, do a little bit on the samplers that are left, and a little bit on these odds and end ones like the mandala and Words to Live By and all that, so I can do it. So I will probably cross these off as I do them, and hope that that's really all that's it. I know sometimes it's scary because you think to yourself, oh, well, that's all I have and I've got them all done. And invariably sometimes, I don't know how it is with you guys, but with a lot of whips like this, I have unfortunately pulled out one that I didn't realize was stuck in one of the bins that hadn't been worked on. But I'm going to cross my fingers and pray a lot that I did actually work on every single one. So those are my plans. I think right here I'll put in pictures of the Queen City retreat. I got some pictures of the brag table and other pictures, I think, of our table mates and stuff. Wonderful, wonderful time. I had so much fun with all you guys. So grateful to see friends that I only see there or once a year, and new friends that I've met. So I would seriously encourage you to consider their retreat. It's a very well run, fun, and I had a great time. So those pictures will go in here. Hello, everybody. I'm going to show you some of the things I acquired and got at the Queen City Stitch Retreat in Charlotte, North Carolina. I won't have everything here. Some things either got used, eaten up, that kind of stuff. So I apologize ahead of time for anybody who I might not mention something that I got from them. So I really do. It's just, it's hard for me to keep up on all this. So, but I will show you what I acquired and some of the things that they gave us within the retreat, as well as a few other odds and ends and a raffle prize too. Okay, so anyway, when we got there, of course, we got our name badge and we got a bag, this beautiful bag with the Queen City emblem on it. And Nora Corbett was the designer there of course, Nora Corbett and Mirabilia fame. And she was graciously signing patterns and other things for people. I had her sign my bag. We also got a tumbler. Everything is all nice and pink. We also got like a little cosmetics bag with the Queen City emblem on it. And inside you could also use it for a stitching bag too. Some of the other things I got from people are in here. You know, like needle minders, threads, other things, as well as some water lilies and beads that the retreat people put together. So this was nice. We also got, of course, over here is the all of our stuff that we had to know about is for the retreat. our welcome pamphlet, everything. We got an exclusive pattern from Nora Corbett, which was this Queen City Mira. And everyone at every table got either a Nora or a Mirabilia pattern free. So, and I got this Miss Forest Mushroom. A table mate friend Kelly started hers, and she got quite a bit done. So that's what's good about the Nora patterns. You can finish them up a little faster. And I actually like this one a lot. So, a couple other just little retreat gifts that I just wanted to mention. My friend that I went on the plane with, Jen, she's become a sewing maniac, so she's been sewing things, and this is a bag that she sewed for all of us for our stitching implements. So I thought that was cute. Also, we got this from a table mate. I also got this cute Tiny Modernist pattern with fabric. We also had another designer that gave us a pattern, Spooky Future, Kayla Mosley. And then I entered the raffle, and this was surprising. I actually put tons of tickets in a couple of the Miras that are out of print that I really wanted. Well, I didn't get them. I ended up like putting, I know, probably only a couple tickets in this particular one, and it was Mira Fairies, the whole set, and I got them. The whole set of the Mira Fairies. So anyway, I was pretty excited about that. So here they are. This one here is Titania, who knows? Titania, Queen of the Fairies. I'm not good with names sometimes. This one here is A Midsummer's Night Fairy. I mean, I won these all, this whole package. This one is the Cottage Garden Fairy. I've seen this one done by a lot of people. This one here that I've seen done by a lot of people is Butterfly Fairy. Sorry for the glare, but that's because of the pictures and plastic. This one here is Fairy Flora. And then the final one, the reason why I only put a couple tickets in is this particular pattern I already have, but it's the only one I do, and I like the whole fairy series. This is Fairy Moon. So I thought, oh, I'd sure love to have the others, but I already had Fairy Moon, so I thought, oh, I'll just put in one or two, and, and then I get it. Then I win it. Ha ha. And then, of course, I had to do some buying. I'm just a fabric maniac. So fabric was really all I got purchased. I didn't purchase any patterns. Of course, with all these I won, it's like I got a bunch of patterns. So anyway, I got, as you can see, several of Amy's Oak Crown Studios fabric. All different colors, the span range of colors. And just to pull a couple out, just to tell you a little bit about them, this right here, this is Antoinette, and this was the actual retreat exclusive fabric. So this one we had to order ahead of time. This one I liked. This is a pumpkin color, and it's called Pumpkin Patch. And actually, it's not so, the video is picking it up as more browns in it, but it actually is a little tending towards more peachy. But this was one of her fabrics of the month that she had extra of. And then I'm trying to think if there's any others. This one I just thought it was so cute. Lucky Chance with the greens and the blues. So anyway, there's some of the fabric that I purchased, of course. So anyway, that's just a little bit of the things that I got. It's actually most of them. I tried to pull things out and be a little more forthcoming this time ahead of time, because I just got back yesterday, so this is at least a little better. And oh my goodness, I just realized, here's my pillow, our 50th anniversary pillow that my sister did. She did this surprising for us. She took a picture and then she got it made into a pillow. And sorry that got caught up with all of my videoing for the retreat stuff. I forgot it was there and just realized I'm showing you the pillow along with all the other stuff. So anyway, I had a wonderful, wonderful time there. Just great friends, meeting up with friends I hadn't seen for a while. Amy Maggie put on a tremendous retreat. Thank you, girls, so much. And it was such a delight to talk to Nora. So pictures will be forthcoming in the retreat after this. Okay, those are the pictures of Queen City. Now I'm moving on and showing you what I did with my bobbin lace this last month, which I was pretty excited, having a good time working on my lace. So I figured I might as well show you what got done this month. This is the torchon lace sampler piece that I've been working on for the last year or so. Torchon is a French geometric lace, usually made with coarser threads. It's on a grid, so it's usually easier to teach brand new bobbin lace students. Anyway, so that's just a little bit about torchon. If you followed any of my previous videos, I was actually right going up here. So I turned the corner, worked around here and down here. So I'm pretty happy with the amount that I've done in the last month. I really got quite a bit done. We're having a bobbin lace class next week. I will show you that piece in a minute. And actually, I'm a little bummed because I'd rather just keep working on this and get it done, because this is my home stretch down here. There's a lot there. There's a whole big long part, but that's the home stretch. I'm more than halfway done, and I'm actually just want to work on this. Not on the class piece, but not on my class coming up, but that's fine. So looking close, this has some dark magenta along with the pink that you can see. These are called tallies, just to let you know, and these are flowers. So this is a flower with just a basic crossing in the middle. And then this is a flower with a cross stitch crossing. They are not perfect by any means, my leaves or that. But that's all right. I've been having fun doing it. Okay, and then the other piece, which I will be working on next week, is a bench piece. Bench is a Belgian lace. I showed this piece to you probably last year, probably around March or April, because the teacher that comes to teach this is from Japan. She spends half her time in Japan, half her time in Europe. Her name is Kamiko, and she teaches bench lace, which is a very fine lace, very fine threads, a difficult lace that's taught for more advanced lace makers. And this piece that I was working on from before is, when I turned it sideways, it was my sheep with the baby sheep I was working on. So I will be taking this back next week. See all the scads of bobbins, tons more than my torchon piece, because this is a continuous lace, which is all worked in one piece, and it needs tons more bobbins. So that's my sheepy that I designed in bench lace. Next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I will be working on that. So that's what's been going on with the lace. Well, that's about it, but I won't forget, I'm going to do the gratitude journal. Thank you again, everybody, for your kindness and love. Thank you so much for it. I really, really appreciate it. So anyway, I let this drop open. It dropped open into October, and it was kind of an appropriate one. It says, "Write it on your heart that every day is the best day of the year." So, by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So, write it in your heart that every day is the best day of the year. And try to keep that things will get better, and things are good. So anyway, thanks for joining me, everybody. I appreciate it, and we'll see how I do next month, and cheer me on to get these whips done. So anyway, take care. Love you all. See you later. Bye.